Welcome to Menspiration on Leader Freak TV. Menspiration is not a lecture, it's a conversation, a reflection on how men understand leadership shaped by culture, family, and silent expectations. Today is not about blaming men or rejecting tradition. It's about pausing long enough to ask, who taught us what it means to be a man in the first place? It's a version of masculinity that we inherited still working. So, wherever you are, lean in and let's talk. Welcome to Menspiration on Leader Freak TV. Hello, good day, and welcome to another episode of Menspiration, the show for men discussing the issues concerning men by men. Today we are going to discuss something very important, something that touches at the core of every man. What do you get when you put four leadership experts together in one room around one black table? You get a bomb. And that's what today we are going to have on this episode of Menspiration. Now, I've been able to pull out of them reluctantly 3 leadership experts. I mean, if you are going to count the top 5 leadership experts in this country, they would feature in the top 5. On the show today, we have Patrick Otieku-Boadu. He is the president of Spearhead Consult. He teaches leadership, he designs leadership frameworks, and some of his, I always say this at seminars, that some of the certifications that he has, he is now almost near to a witch because he can turn your brain around, see what is at the back, and reconfigure and restructure your brain so that you can live a more healthy and more successful life. Patrick, you are welcome to the show.
This introduction.
Then we have Richard Akita, my own senior brother. Richard is the CEO of Launchpad. Launchpad also does leadership development, but with a focused effort on young people and helping leaders become all that they were meant to be. Richard, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then we have Robert. Robert, named after King Robert of England. Robert is also the CEO of Temple Advisory. He runs leadership program, leadership seminars. If you talk about some of the biggest corporations and companies in this country, name it, he has trained them all. They have passed through his able hands. Today, he's here to bless us with his wisdom. Robert, you are welcome.
Thank you very much.
It's good to have you, gentlemen. How are you all?
Yeah, well, we're doing well.
Yeah.
And how are you too?
Well, we are doing great. It can be better, but we are doing very great.
Fantastic.
I'm only praying that the Strait of Hormuz
We'll be open.
That's my only concern. Other than that, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, today we are going to discuss purpose.
Right.
Purpose discovery. You all run seminars, both public and private. You all run customized coaching programs. And I'm sure that at one point in time, somebody has come to you and say, why am I on earth? What should I do with my life? Can you help me to unravel the mystery of life? So that's what we are going to discuss today. How do we help our men to discover their God-given purpose, to understand why they are on earth so that they can have a plan to live it? Now, if you are watching us or listening to us on this podcast, remember to like, remember to comment. We would like to hear from you. Our coaches would like to hear from you. And remember to share it to your enemies so that they'll grow, they'll discover their purpose and stop worrying you. All right. So, gentlemen, let's start from the work that you do and from the experience that you have in this world. What is purpose?
Since you are the witch, please go ahead.
All right, so let me start. Basically, when we say purpose is about the meaning of life, the meaning we attach to life. And purpose is also at the very, very deep level of our being. So we say it's spiritual. Now, the word spirit is not about church, organized religion, but mainly talking about the fact that if you write the word spirit and you write the word inspire, you realize that there's SPIR in both of them because they come from the same Latin root, which means to breathe. So purpose is the breath for meaning, the breath for activity, the breath for life. And that is why there are things like conspire, aspire, respire, and then expire. Expire means to remove breath out of something. So purpose, your purpose is what drives you. Your purpose is what brings that inspiration. Your purpose is what keeps you going. Your purpose is what keeps you alive. Without purpose, life is meaningless. So purpose is what brings meaning to you. When you wake up in the morning, what takes you out of your bed is purpose. Okay, so if you want us to be a little bit spiritual, for instance, when God created us, the Bible says He breathed into us, and man became a living soul, a living being. Now, that is not air that He put into us, but rather purpose that He put into us.
Wow.
Again, if you look at Ezekiel 37:5, it talks about the fact that there were dry bones, and then He prophesied, and the air came, if you will, and breath came into the bones, and they became an army. What made the bone, the dry, the bad thing become a good thing and become an army? Or the dry bone was the purpose.
Wow.
So when we want to look at purpose, it's what gives you meaning.
What gives you
to
meaning.
life? Yeah.
Thank you, Patrick. Send me catch him. I told you.
See? That's why I said you go first.
I like the exposition, especially from the biblical angle, because we've all gotten to understand that, it was air, it was breath that God put into man. But today you've made us understand that it was actually purpose that He gave us. Thank you, sir. Richard, what's your take?
Following on from what Patrick has said, one of the founders of motivational speaking, Earl Nightingale, puts it this way. He says that the creator of the universe gave each and every one of us a bit of himself before we came to the world. And that bit of himself, Earl Nightingale puts it down as the brain. So your purpose comes to you very easily. You don't struggle with it. The only thing is, you don't discover that purpose until you start serving. So when people come to you and say, what's my purpose? The question is, what are you serving as? What are you doing? Because it's out of the doing that you discover the purpose. So, yes, it's part of us. And if I go a negative way, if we do not discover our purpose, life becomes a chore.
Wow. Say that again.
If we don't discover our purpose, life becomes a chore.
Let me repeat for emphasis. If you don't discover your purpose, life becomes a chore. Richard Akita, AD 2026. This is powerful. I like it. I like it. So those going through life, afraid, they are not enjoying life, they are just, passing through day by day, it is because they have not discovered their purpose.
Yes,
life is a chore.
Yes. You see, but let me go back a stage. When we look at the dimension of the male and also the female, there are 4 dimensions we all go through. We are first sons, then we are the man, then we become husbands, and progress to the ultimate, being a father. The role as a son is to understand service and honor, identity, because you need that foundation. And once you get that, you move into the next level, which makes you a man. For our cousins and Jewish cousins, at the age of 13, you are classified a man. At that stage, the elders of the community start talking to you as a man.
Wow.
They start giving you responsibility as a man. And where sometimes we miss it is that when we fail at any of the levels, we tend to think, that is not me. But the failure is telling you that that is not the purpose for which you are here. So you fail at something, you do it again, you fail. What do? you try and find alternative routes to be able to move forward. And it is only at the stage when a man discovers his purpose, that is when he starts to make impact. So our purpose is key, but we have to go through some of the stages of life. We have to go through the hard knocks of life to understand that a lot of the things we're experiencing, I'm not going to say emphatically, but they normally tend to define our purpose. Now, even if we go back to the church, and I say this to some of the young people, I say to them, that which you're struggling with today, the moment you overcome it, that becomes the purpose. So if you're going
through, you are struggling with
today,
the moment you overcome it, that becomes your purpose.
So if you are going through financial hardship now, when you learn to master that beast, you can now speak into it because you found a way to navigate out of it. And then because you're serving, it's a lot easier for you to be able to help other people to navigate that same challenge.
Wow. Awesome. Robert, what's your take? What's purpose?
No, I'm glad to be here, and I like what my brothers are sharing, because sometimes we think that you have to divine your purpose. You have to go through a certain process, and maybe you hear God speaking to you, my son. This is your purpose. This is what, Bible says in Acts, when David had served God's purpose in his own generation, he fell asleep. What did David do? Yes, he was a king, but he lived, like my brother said, he was a son first.
Yeah.
He showed up when his brothers were at war and dealing with this beast, and he showed up and he served. And then he became a king, fighting, serving the nation, building a kingdom. That's what we all do. When Moses encountered God in the burning bush, he was asked to go and deliver what do you have in your hand? We can't sit back and hide from what we can do, because God has already blessed us with this spirit, with the breath of life. And what we have to do is to put it in service of our generation. That's all we have to. That's our purpose.
All right.
You
So
can't hide.
Let me piggyback on that. For the young person in a university, for the young corporate professional who's just started work, what would be your top 3 steps that they should take to discover their purpose?
Brilliant. Number 1, I'll go back to the basics. What do you have in your hand doing now?
Okay.
You need to pay attention to your abilities and your skills, and most importantly, don't hide, because you would always face resistance, even when others have seen your capabilities and are encouraging you. Then there's a voice in your head telling you, who are you to show up and to say that you can do this?
Okay.
And the same thing happened to David. You show up, you believe that God has given you the capacity to deal with this giant. And then they are asking you questions. Who are you? So number 1, what do you have in your hand?
Okay.
What skills and abilities do you have that you can put to use immediately? Sometimes taking personality tests, they help.
Okay.
But do not put yourself into a box and say, this is what I took this personality test and this is what he told me, so this is the only thing I can do. Don't say, well, I went to school, I love accounting, and this is the only thing I can do. Who told you you love accounting until you studied accounting? How did you know? And in any case, until you begin to do, you can never give any opinion on that experience. And so, number 1, start with what you have, where you are, and stop hiding.
Okay. Start with what you have.
And where you are.
Start from where you are.
Yes.
Stop hiding.
Stop hiding.
All right.
Number
Thank you.
2, you speak to others, because there are so many people who have been on the journey you've been on. If you're on a journey, and nobody else on this planet Earth has been on that journey, that would be amazing. There will definitely be opportunities to learn from other people who have gone through your path. Whether you are starting with no money, there are so many people who have started their dreams with no money. So you can find someone who will share his experience. And these days, you don't have to go find a mentor. I mean, how many of us, all of us, can go and pick, give me a name, Elon Musk, or
Strive Masiyiwa.
Strive as our mentor? It's not possible. But then we can read about them. And sometimes you can just have them at the back of your mind. Strive with what he's done and what I know of him. What would he do in this circumstance?
If any part of this felt uncomfortable, that's okay. Growth usually is. This conversation is not about getting it right. It's about getting it honest. Because when men start asking better questions, they start leading better lives. If this spoke to you, like, subscribe to the channel, comment below, and share it with another man. Let's keep the conversation going. This is Menspiration. This is Lead Afrique TV. And this is how we begin to lead differently.